Hi, engineering students. Thanks so much for watching this video. In this video today, I'm going to help you think through choosing your concentration for the engineering program. So the objective of this presentation is to meet or at least see your program chair and advisors, learn more about possible concentrations within engineering, and then learn how to choose a concentration. So the team that you have here to support you, it includes me, Nadia Kellum. I'm Dr. Kellum. I'm a professor and the undergraduate engineering program chair. So if you ever have any issues, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm also the associate director for strategic initiatives within the Polytechnic School. And then we have our amazing advising team devoted just to engineering students. This includes Carly Folger. Carly's the Academic Success Advising Manager Senior, and Carly leads an amazing team of advisors, including Dominique DeRose, who's one of our engineering advisors, and then also Amy Vinakis. We have an amazing team for you, so we're all here to support you as you move through your degree and also as you select a concentration. Just to start out and give a little context for our program, so we really are a different kind of engineering degree. I want you to know about this so you can talk to people about it, especially when you're applying for internships or for jobs. But most engineering programs, throughout the US and throughout the world, they teach you how to think like an engineer. So they're really focused on the theory side of things. We train you to work like one. So we include the theory in our program, but we also really focus on experiential learning and learning how to do things. And the way we do this is through this design spine, which is project-based learning from throughout the whole curriculum. So every semester of your 8 semesters, you'll be doing a project-based class. And in these classes, you'll be working with industry or community members, and work through challenges that really put your skills to the test. And they really help you apply that theory that you're learning in your classes into actual practical know-how. So you'll develop a deep technical knowledge through the engineering program, plus you'll get really good at communication, teamwork, and adaptability. And these are all things that are really important to future employers. Our industrial advisory board constantly talks about these things. And so they may seem a little bit, some people call them soft skills. I call them professional skills. But they're really, really important for you to be successful in your jobs as you move forward. We have 5 concentrations that start your junior year, and then the first 2 years of the program is common for everybody. And so we have this really strong program, and then these concentrations to allow you to dive a little deeper into things. These concentrations include automotive systems, electrical systems, mechanical systems, robotics, and also clean energy systems is our newest one. So for, like I just said, you have to choose your concentration. For the first 2 years, it's going to be a common engineering program, really learning how to think, design, and build like an engineer, and then you'll really specialize. And so your concentration is where you take everything you've learned and apply it to the problems that you really care about. So really think about the things that you care about, the things that are important to you, like what is your sacred fire, what are problems that you want to fix in the world, as you start thinking about what concentration to do. So we'll go through each concentration. The first one is the automotive systems. So if you really love understanding how vehicles work and imagining how they could work better, this would be a great concentration for you. In this concentration, you'll design and analyze powertrains, chassis, and hybrid propulsion systems. You'll work on hands-on projects that mirror real automotive engineering challenges, and you'll prepare for roles in vehicle testing, propulsion development, and sustainable mobility. A real world application of this one is you might, and you could do a lot of different things, but you might engineer electrified propulsion systems for vehicles that reduce emissions without sacrificing performance. So if this sounds of interest to you, this might be a great concentration for you. The next one is clean energy systems. So this is one that just started up last spring. So it's one of our smaller programs, but it's growing. If you want to really focus your career on solving engineering or energy issues, this might be a great major or a great concentration for you. So you'll develop innovative solutions for solar, battery, and renewable energy systems. It's a very interdisciplinary degree, so you'll collaborate across disciplines on a really important challenge that we're all facing. And it'll help position you at the leading edge of a really rapidly growing global industry. An example of something you might do, designing solar panel arrays, and battery storage systems for homes, businesses, and electric vehicles could be an example of the type of work you could do with this concentration. The next is electrical systems. So if you're drawn to electronics and controls that make modern technology work, this is a great concentration for you. Um, you'll master sensors, actuators, microcontrollers, and embedded systems, integrate components into electrical and mechatronic systems, and apply your skills across manufacturing, communications, defense, and consumer tech. A real world application might be building embedded systems for Internet of Things devices, from smart home tech to wearables. So if this speaks to your sacred fire, this might be a great major for you, or a great concentration for you. The next one is mechanical systems. Um, if you want to understand and design the physical systems that power our world, this is a great concentration for you. One of the reasons I picked it was it just was a little bit broader than some of the others. I thought I could find a job within that that I would like, that I'd be really drawn to. Um, so with this, you'll study materials, machine design, and thermal fluid systems. You'll take a systems level approach to energy and power management, and you'll design mechanical solutions for real human needs. An example could be engineering mechanical systems inside medical devices, from ventilators to prosthetics. That's just one small example. There could be tons of other examples. But so if this sort of speaks to you, mechanical systems might be a good choice. And then we have robotics. So this is the last of the 5 concentrations that we currently have. If you're interested in building machines that sense, think, and act, this might be a great concentration for you. So in this one, you'll integrate electromechanical systems, sensors, and actuators. You'll design and analyze dynamic systems with embedded digital controls. You'll work on projects that push the boundary of autonomous and intelligent machines. An example of a real world application might be creating autonomous drones for search and rescue, infrastructure inspection, or agricultural monitoring. So what we really like to think about in our robotics program is thinking about human-centered robotics. So we're not just replacing people with robots, but thinking about how we can work with robots to make our world a better place. And then if you're one of the students that you're like, oh, I think, for example, robotics seems like that would be a good concentration for me. But I'm also interested in electrical, or I'm also interested in mechanical or automotives or whatever. You do have an opportunity to take some classes outside of your concentration area. And so we have these upper division electives. So you have to take 3 classes that are upper division electives, and they can really be in anything. A lot of students will sort of get a secondary focus. So they might take a concentration in, like I said, in robotics, and then are also interested in mechanical. And so they'll take 3 courses out of mechanical, or any of the other concentrations. You also could go outside of engineering. So you could go into environmental and resource management, which is related to engineering. You could do something like in technology, entrepreneurship, and management. Um, that might be a good one if you're interested in entrepreneurship. You might be interested in developing AI skills. You could take some classes around AI. The Thunderbird School of Management, we have an accelerated program. There's special requirements for that, but if you're interested in management, but you could also take other classes in project management and whatnot, which will likely help you in your degree. And then if you're just a create, or if you are a creative, you might decide to take something in a completely different area. You just have to make sure that you can meet the prerequisites. But you could do art history, Japanese, entrepreneurship, music, film, political science. You really could do anything that you wanted to. I always point students to Steve Jobs, who, it was before he dropped out of college, but he took a calligraphy class, and that really changed the way that our fonts and stuff work today. So everything that you see on the computer is somewhat due to Steve taking that calligraphy class, which probably seemed like sort of a random interest that he had, but it really did influence things. So I encourage you to go out and sort of explore for that. Most engineering programs are totally packed full. It's 130 credit hours. You can't take anything else unless you do an overload. But we really think it's important. And so we think it's important for you to be curious about your world and not only focus on your discipline. So you'll have some space in your degree program for that. Things to consider when deciding, there are career paths specific to each concentration, the industries that hire graduates, salary ranges, growth projections, And then I think it's really important just to think about your sacred fire. What's the thing that gets you excited to learn or to learn new things? I think that can be important because if it's something you really care about and you value, then you'll be more successful in that area. Please check out this website to get some of this information. And then advising services is a great support place for you. Um, so you can either schedule an appointment with the advising scheduling calendar. There's express advising that we have from Wednesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 4 Arizona time. And you can see a link there for that. The regular hours are 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. Um, they're only closed on ASU holidays, so they're even around during breaks. And the location, it's in Sutton Hall on the second floor. This link will take you to the advising page, the QR code, and then you can also see the links there, polyadvising at asu.edu if you have any questions. So once you figure out what you want to do for your concentration, then I encourage you to meet with your advisor so that you can declare your concentration, and then you can align your courses or your future courses with that concentration. Course offerings and prerequisites vary in each program, so you'll need to work closely with your advisor.